Hey, hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. This is Praveen here, your host, your mentor, your teacher and your guide. So I'm very much happy to announce that our bootcamp is successfully running and we have entered into the second week of bootcamp, where the love you have shown, the support you have shown, the reach of the videos which you have taken from here to here is really awesome, guys, and I hope I'm providing the best content to you all. If you need any support, you can just reach out to me on LinkedIn, on Instagram, and also you can comment it down because I make sure I'm responding to each and every comment. Either I take 1 or 2 days of time, and I've already thought of giving you all the project for the bootcamp also. So for that also I've shared the document in my previous live sessions. So what I would request you all is just spread the word of the bootcamp so that you guys actually come into the field of DevOps and I can definitely help you. So if you can see, there will be testimonials all around the screen where my students or my community people have successfully placed in top product-based organizations, may it be Airtel, may it be Deloitte, may it be Haston, and I want every one of you, those who are watching this video, to be with me for the next 2 months, and also in the further coming sessions we'll be doing the great things in our classes. Right, so every Saturday at 4 p.m. you can join my classes. I'll be very much actively posting the data on the LinkedIn, on the Instagram, and sometimes on the YouTube community page. I'll be launching like URLs and all those things. So definitely check out all those things and follow me in all the different platforms. And every Thursday, you all know that I come live in Instagram for taking your queries. So I already know that you guys are very much supportive, but I want more people to join the live sessions so that end goal of us gets achieved. I hope you guys are with me. If you are with me and if you are liking my content, like the video, subscribe to my channel, share it with your friends so that I can help many more people. So with that said, let's get started in our today's video. So today's video will be more of the DevOps interview questions of mine, which I have cleared in top 25 organizations. I have already launched the part A, which will be flashing onto the screen, where I have told and talked about the tools, and I have also shared my answers for that tools in the video. If you have not checked out that, go and check out that, because you will get the confidence of attending the interview and cracking the interview. So I think majority of the tools I have discussed in the last video, and that was till GitHub or GitLab, I think. And we'll be talking about AWS today. I'll be talking about Ansible as a tool today, and the interview questions, what actually the interviewers have asked me in various top product-based organizations. We'll be talking about security and monitoring, what you need to do actually, and how I will cover these topics in my bootcamp. We'll be talking all those things. We'll be talking about the most important thing, that is the managerial discussion. So please be with me, and I will just assure the best content to you all. So we'll start with the AWS. Actually, many of you have asked me like, okay Praveen, how I can tackle the AWS. So nothing to worry. What I would suggest is, instead of going to each and every service of AWS, just target on a project-based scenario. Right? So why you need to target on a project-based scenario? Because you need to understand each of the services which are interlinked with the projects. Not like you learn all the services and you don't know how to implement a project. Rather, I would say just go ahead and think of a project which best suits you, which can define that, okay, if I do the project, I will definitely get the help out of that project. Definitely do that. And I'll be telling some of the services which are very much important to you all. So first question is like, what is VPC and its components? So everyone in the interviewer, when you are going to attend the interview for the AWS, they will ask you this question, like you need to answer like private subnet, public subnet, what are the NACLs, network access control list, which actually have the tight security on your VPC, route tables, which actually routes the traffic from the internet gateway to the NACLs to the public and the private subnets. So you need to understand how the route tables are designed, how the input outputs IP addresses have been mapped in the route table. So you need to know that. Also, the internet gateway is very important, guys, through which, let's take this is the outside world and this is the AWS. Under that your VPC is there. So the pointing towards the external world to the internal world is actually coming through the internet gateway. I hope I have made it sense, but definitely check out this question. It's very important for you all to understand that. And next question is, what is the difference between NACL and the security groups? Again, one of the important questions. So you can just check out what is NACLs, what is security groups, and I hope you guys already know, like, security groups are nothing but which are actually for the services inside the AWS. NACLs are nothing but for the entry level connections in the virtual private cloud. And you should understand types of load balancer. The third question which have been asked to me, what is a load balancer, what are the types of load balancer? So you need to understand that load balancer is nothing but which balances the load among your instances. Let's take your load is more, then scales up, load is less, scales down, so that the cost optimization you can do very well. So also, I would like to inform you that few of the load balancers are very much important. So I will be telling the names of the load balancers, what you need to understand. Network load balancer and application load balancer. We will be covering these things in our bootcamp. So definitely join all my live sessions every Saturday at 4 p.m. So in this, basically we will see like what is a network load balancer, what is the application load balancer. Application load balancer is a layer 7 load balancer where you give some requests. Let's say like you hit www.helloworld.com. So it is giving you a response. So that is where we use the application load balancer, that is HTTP or HTTPS. Whereas layer 4 is nothing but, guys, this is a connection where the TCP protocols or the UDP protocols takes place, and you know the live streaming activity is done on these protocols. Let's take in the recent times, you know, in the I think session 1 I had a power disconnectivity, and with that the stream got lost, the stream got stuck. Why? Because that is a UDP connection or the layer 4 activity where let's take I was streaming to you all and you were the person sitting here. So what here it is happening is I'm just continually delivering my content. I don't want my viewers to actually react on the content or reply back like, okay, Praveen, your connectivity is good, or your response is good, or I don't need any response back from the users for my stream. So that is where even if you see Hotstar, what it does continuous live streaming irrespective of your inputs on that particular stream. So that is where the layer 4 and the network load balancer is very much important. I hope with the simple terms I have made it clear. If you are still not getting, just comment down in the comment section. I'll definitely reply back to you. And how to restore the login of the EC2 if the PEM file is lost. So don't worry, this document I will share it in the description below. So just check out that. And also we'll be seeing now the question number 6, how to restore the login of the EC2 if the PEM file is lost. So what is PEM file? PEM file is basically a file which will have your credentials or the SHA key, which will help you to log in into the server. If suppose you have lost that key, what you need to do is detach that EBS volume, attach it to the other server, get the keys from that server and attach it again back to the old server. From that way you will get the keys. How to encrypt the unencrypted AMI? You will get the right click options, encrypt, and encrypt the AMI, or copy the AMI, create a new AMI where you will get the option of encrypting the AMI. What is EBS, elastic block storage? What is elastic file storage? Both the differences you need to check and you need to make sure you know that. What is VPC peering, VPC endpoint? You also need to make sure you know this. What is S3? S3 is a simple storage service which is given by Amazon, and basically this storage has changed the life of many developers because we can host here the static websites. Basically the UI or the front end can be hosted here. So make sure you guys know this. Okay, what are IAM roles and how the cross region roles work? Definitely you need to check out how to tell one EC2 to talk with another EC2 in the other region. So what you do, we create a VPC peering between the two subnets, and we make sure that one EC2 talks with the other EC2. So make sure you also know this. And basically the cloud formation template, but in this generation we have the Terraform. So make sure at least you know like how to create a EC2 instance with the Terraform, at least to tell the interviewer that you guys know what is actually needed in this present scenario. So I want everyone to know that what is MySQL Aurora, how the backup plan you are doing for the database, how much retention time of the data is taking place, how much cost you are getting for the database, what type of instance you have actually used for your database. So just check out all those things so that you guys actually know how the cost optimization is done, how if suppose you are taking a service from the AWS, how you are actually incurring the cost and how you can mitigate the cost also, because DevOps engineers are the ones who are actually supporting on the cost level base. Okay, so now we will go to the Ansible. Ansible is very important for you all. What is Ansible architecture? So you need to understand that. And in the session 2, the link will be flashing here. Go and check out the Ansible infrastructure, how the Ansible is used, how Ansible modules are written. I have already told there. So just check out that. How a normal YAML file is different from an Ansible playbook. Many of us don't know that. What is the difference between the plain YAML and actually the Ansible playbook is that if you see the host we define in the Ansible playbook, so that is where the difference between the plain YAML file and the actual Ansible YAML script is defined. Okay, what are handlers, notifiers? You need to definitely check out that, because most of the interviewers have asked me. Handlers and notifiers are nothing but, let's take you are working in a one stage, one module. Now what is happening is this module has been completed. So immediately after this completion of this module, what you need to do, you need to notify some users through email or something. You can use notifiers, and handlers are nothing but for catching some particular exceptions or some output and then sending it to the other what we call other modules. We use the handlers and notifiers. What are the various modules used in the Ansible? You need to definitely know this. Some of the modules I will tell you: get URL, handlers and notifiers, and then you have the shell module, you have a line in file module, you have regex patterns to be used in that module. So know every module, at least 15 modules which are mainly used in the Ansible for making sure you take out the jar or war file and then deploy into the Kubernetes environment. And then we will see how to use when condition and loops in Ansible. Very, very much important. So just check out that. What are ad hoc, Ansible ad hoc commands? These are the commands which are used in command line interface. So make sure you are at least knowing some 30 to 40% of the questions which I am telling here, so that you don't get fear of backstepping in the interview. Every interview you guys sit, you just remember all the questions, whatever I have framed. Just follow my channel, because in my channel I am segregating the content in such a way that even the newbie can get hired into a top product based organization. So make sure you all know what are roles, and tell where you will keep the different files in different folders. Yes, Ansible has a roles and Ansible has a galaxy. So make sure you know that roles folder structure you need to know, and make sure you guys know that. What is Ansible Vault? So basically make sure you know that what actually the Vault does. Okay, Vault is nothing but, what is Vault, guys? Vault is nothing but where we save something. Okay, like the secrets, the passwords for the application, the MySQL connections, strings, and the passwords. So make sure you actually know what is Vault doing in the Ansible, how the SSH connectivity takes place between the two servers in Ansible. Very much important, and you guys definitely need to know how this SSH is done. Let's take server A is there, server B is there. We copy the keys from this server to this server, and we establish the connection by copying this IP address into this host file inventory section. And next topic will come in security and monitoring. This topic I'll again take one dedicated session in our master classes, so definitely check out that. What is SAST? What is DAST? DAST is basically dynamic application security testing. SAST is nothing but I'm not remembering the full form, but I will definitely give in the description below. How 45 rules are placed. So basically what happens, right? Let me tell you, in every DevOps journey, when you start as a newbie, when you start as an experienced candidate, so what happens is basically these tools are formed in a systematic way till the end, starting from the development to the deployment, and you will find some security tools in each of the organization. Some of the security tools are Checkmarx, Black Duck, Fortify. So, and also SonarQube for the code validation and code coverage. So what you guys need to do is, you guys need to know at least 2 security tools which will help you to mitigate the errors in the code actually. Okay, so I hope I am making it sense. So I have used Black Duck and Fortify because like in the session 2 I have already covered about the Fortify and Black Duck. So what actually the Fortify does is, let's take this is your code. Fortify has some rules which is defined by the DevOps engineers. So Fortify actually runs through the entire code, and actually line by line it goes through that, and it will find out that okay, in this code there is a malicious content which actually helps the cyber crime to take place, or cyber attacks to be done on your code. We don't want our code to be actually cyber attacked by someone, because we spend millions of dollars onto our code to get developed and deployed into the production. So that is why these security tools actually help us to mitigate at the stage of development itself. Okay, and what are the different dashboards created in New Relic and Grafana? Because I'll be talking this in my session, don't worry about this, but make sure you at least know one monitoring tool and what is the use of that. So DevOps, actually I'm telling again, 15 plus minutes have been taken. DevOps is not all about only DevOps. It's about security, it's about monitoring, it's about testing, it's about development. So you need to know all the things in order to make sure you are getting into the top product based organization. So yeah, design diagrams, Jenkins pipeline, and AWS architecture. So whatever your projects you have worked on, so make sure you do that. Now we are at the end. I will take another 2 minutes to wrap up this. We will be talking about very important things, how the manager actually judges you based on some of the questions. Okay, so tell me about your most difficult situation you faced and you resolved. Okay, so let's take, what is the most difficult situation? Let's take one of the example is you are allowed to, you were given with the responsibility of designing the AWS architecture, but you don't know anything. You learned from yourself. You had some challenges between that. You had some teams to be integrated, which you have single-handedly done, and you have supported your team for the launch of the product. So that is where the difficult situation you faced and you resolved. When you had an issue with your management and how you convinced that. Okay, so these managerial questions are very much important, and everyone will try to actually look into this. Let's take two of you are working, team member A and team member B, and you have a conflicts between both both of you. Now how will you resolve that conflict? Talk in a polite way, don't get angry, and tell them a situation like, okay, yes, I had a conflict. If you really had a conflict, tell them, because they will dig you deep inside the questions, and they can judge that you are telling truth or you are telling lie. So make sure you at least have this kind of scenario where two of you are given the task and you were working, and suddenly there was an issue, and how you have resolved the conflict and how you have come up with a better solution. You both discussed together, brainstormed together, and came up with a beautiful solution where the entire management is smiling. So yeah, with that said, you have helped your peer. Yes, in software engineer, in IT domain, we always try to help others. So make sure you give some example into this. Critical feedback from a colleague and how you have worked. Okay, suppose I am a friend of you. Now I am telling like, okay, do this kind of thing. With that, you will achieve some other thing. Or don't do this. Because if you are doing this, you will be not achieving your end goal. How you are taking this feedback from a colleague and how you are framing that and how you are achieving and coming out as a different person, you have to tell that. Last question, you worked on a deadline and did not had options before taking the decision. So let's take tomorrow is our production, okay? And today we found, like, because it's a weekend, Saturday, I'm shooting this video on Saturday, and because today you guys came to know that, okay, there is a production bug and no one is there in the team and you alone have to take the decision. So what you do, you call to your manager says yes, go ahead and do that, even though you have fear of having some issues. But yeah, you take that step, you make sure everything is good, you deploy into the production, you successfully give the new version to the production, and successfully the users are able to test with no bugs. It means you have worked on the deadline and you had met the expectations by taking the right decision. With that said, this document I'll be sharing onto the description. Just check out that. I hope you are liking the video. If you have liked the video, like it, comment it, share it with your friends. That Praveen is helping you all, and I will see you in the next video. Take care, bye, stay safe.